Hello students, I'm Rubia ma'am. I'm going to take physics for you all. Let's start our second lesson, force and motion. So in your 6th standard you have studied about force. So what is a force? Force is nothing but a push or a pull. So force makes an object to move. Observe this picture. So it shows some things that are in motion and some that are at rest. So in your daily life, in your surrounding, you see some things that are moving and something that are rest. So what you have to do is you have to make a list of objects that are moving and the list of the object which are at rest. So from this picture we can see that tree and the house are a stationary object. We say that a body is stationary or at rest if it does not change its position with respect to a fixed point in its surrounding. Similarly, we say that a body is in motion if it changes its position with respect to a fixed point in its surrounding. In the picture, we can see that bus, car, cart, stone, birds are moving with respect to the tree and the house in the surrounding. We will learn more about rest and motion in this chapter. Next, we'll see how rest and motion are relative. Imagine you are traveling by a bus. If you look at outside the window of your bus, you will notice that you are in motion in relation to the light post, the house, shop, trees, etc. Because your position is changing with respect to these things. So if you notice your position with respect to the driver or any other person sitting beside you inside the bus, you will find that it is not changing. So thus, you are at rest in relation to the certain set of object and moving in relation to another set of object. This implies that rest and motion are relative terms. Now that we know what rest and motion are, let us learn about the different types of motion we come across in our everyday lives. Types of motion. Look around you and observe the different kinds of motion taking place. We can classify motion in the following category. First one, translatory motion. If a body as a whole moves in such a way that every point on it moves through the same distance in a given time, then it is said to have undergone translatory motion. The linear motion, both rectilinear and curvilinear, is an example of translatory motion. So, rectilinear motion. If a body moves along a straight line, then it is said to have undergone rectilinear motion. For example, the car, bus are moving in a straight line path. So, these are having rectilinear motion. Next is curvilinear motion. So, if the body moves along a curved line path, then it is said to have undergone curvilinear motion. So, a ball thrown at an angle has a curvilinear motion. If you are throwing the ball like this, so it is moving in a curved line. So, running race in a curved track are the example for curvilinear motion. Next is rotatory motion. If a body moves about a fixed point without changing its position, then the body is said to have undergone rotatory motion. So the body moves about the fixed point without changing its position, then it is said to have rotatory motion. The rotatory motion is not a translatory because each point on the rotating body moves through a different distance in the same interval. Example for rotatory motion, you can take rotation of the earth, etc. So next we'll see oscillatory motion. If the body as a whole moves back and forth about its mean position, then it is said to have undergone oscillatory motion. For example, pendulum. So it moves back and forth about its mean position. Next, vibratory motion. If a part of a body moves back and forth about its mean position, then it is said to have undergone vibratory motion. In this type of motion, the whole body does not move. Okay, so vibrating the guitar, okay, so playing the guitar, etc. are the example for vibratory motion. So what is your homework? You have to collect the example for translatory motion, rotatory motion, oscillatory motion and vibratory motion, and you have to list out the object which are at rest and which are at motion in your surrounding. Thank you.